think I've got an issue with my camera here, people, so I'll just carry on anyway. You don't need to see my beautifulness, so I'll just be talking. I'm just going to be screen sharing anyway and get through a couple of things. So let's have a wee look here. Let's just have a wee listen. This was March the 5th. So I hope everybody's alright, and I'll come to the chat box. I just want to kind of go through some of this just to highlight the obvious, because people have always got short memories.
After it was revealed that health officials will stop providing daily updates on the location of any new infections.
But with the known number of UK cases now standing
Let's
at
see that
90,
again,
should
sorry.
we...
Welcome back. Now, overnight, the government has faced fresh allegations of withholding information about the coronavirus after it was revealed that health officials will stop providing daily updates on the...
See, right away, you know, the conspiracy is that they're withholding information and blah, 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 which is true again, but this is always the antics, you know, it's, you tell a lie and then get people involved in the details of the lie and arguing about the lie, and then people forget to question whether the thing they're discussing is actually a real thing that they should be concerned about. So they just get caught up in the details, but obviously they're going to lie and hide stuff, because, you know, people are sending me footage, you know, from Germany, you know, UK, other countries where people are investigating the hospitals, and there's nothing really happening anywhere. But let's just get in, because again, this is what I was saying to people. You know, have a listen to what they're actually saying to you, and it's like this tippy-toeing in of the agenda, you know, where they're saying obvious statements, and people will then forget about these statements when they change the statements at a later date, maybe even a couple of days later, you know, so let's...
The location of any new infections.
But with the known number of UK cases now standing at 90, should we be doing more? And surely we have a...
The known number of UK cases standing at 90. First of all, people have to clarify what they're actually talking about in regards to coronavirus, and what is actually being tested for, and an understanding of what happens in the human body when it is getting rid of toxins or when you're unwell, and it creates these things that we call viruses in order to remove some of the toxins from your body. So, you know, what is it that people are actually testing for? Because the majority of people who are getting unwell at these times of the year are going to display this COVID or coronavirus thing. But what is it about it? You know, they're just labelling it and saying it's this thing that's causing destruction and chaos and blah, blah. So people only need to hear the fear tactics and never investigate it.
Right to know if there's an outbreak in our area.
Well, joining us now to answer those questions is the Prime Minister.
So here they're making the concern, we have a right to know if there's an outbreak in our area. Oh, so we've already skipped by establishing whether the thing is actually something to be concerned about or something actually real in the first place. We jump right to emotional manipulation. Oh, we've got the right to know if we should be concerned if it's happening in our area. Oh.
Boris Johnson. Good morning, Prime Minister. Thank you for coming in today. You're a very busy man at the moment. Are you withholding information?
No, not at all. Let me clear that up.
Yeah.
It was very quick. You know, this gives the impression that they have the balls. They're confronting this man with their real person concerns, and he's very, very quick because it's scripted. He knows the question's coming, and he's right in about it. And always when you look at these people, there's never any genuine expression in them. You're not looking at somebody like you or I, a real person, and how we would express ourselves with genuine expression. They're just an act. This guy's just an actor.
Immediately, because it's very important that we are transparent. People understand that we're transparent. Public Health England needs to be absolutely...
very stand up. They're going to be very transparent. You know, we've not established whether this thing's a load of bollocks or no yet, but we're going to be transparent. You know, yes. Getting you inside right away.
Absolutely sure about the diagnoses of these cases. So what they're doing is they're immediately...
So how have you actually done that then, Boris? How have you been absolutely sure?
Identifying the region where they think there's an incidence, and then within 24 hours
Notice that he's already speaking nasally. I don't pay much attention to this guy or whether or not he always talks like that, but he's already nasally as if he's got like a kind of blocked up nose. Because obviously this was, 3.5 weeks ago, and now we're hearing that he's been struck down by coronavirus. The invasion of the body snatcher virus, this wee morphing entity that's jumping from people to peoples.
Confirming the exact location to be sure that we've got the right thing.
So why will it be the end of the week when we find
And
out?
because we're building up a map, a proper database that the public can access, showing the whole thing
But
in real
isn't
time.
it better if we all have all the information straight away? I mean, we're not stupid, you know. We
No, I
we
agree.
can handle the truth.
Yes, you are, Philip. You're very stupid. You're just an actor, the same as the rest of them, reading from a fucking video printer, talking shite. You are stupid, son. And so is this buffoon sitting in front of you. Very, very stupid. And the vast majority of the public are just as stupid based on what we're seeing today. But we'll get to that.
Truth. So
Absolutely.
Tell us
No,
the
I
truth.
mean,
Tell us straight away.
Exactly, and I think one of the great things about the British public is they can see we can all see very clearly what the balance of risk is. We can see where this is
See,
happening.
this is him trying to galvanise the public, like appealing to you. Again, reaffirming that it's real and look how transparent we are being. You know, we can all see what's going on. No, we fucking well cannot, you buffoon.
And the rate at which it's spreading. So I'm with you, and we're putting it all out there, and that's
I just worry because we know who the vulnerable are, whether it's elderly or those with underlying other respiratory conditions and things like.
Here we get to it, because this was the story, the narrative. We all know who the vulnerable are, because this was how it was put to people initially, before they started the tippy-toeing, to all of a sudden we're now all in lockdown, with only happening by your consent, by the way. But all of a sudden now we're in lockdown when it started off with respiratory disease and the vulnerable.
Like that. If you have the information, then you might not decide to go shopping in that area because you know the risk. But if you don't know for a week, you might be making unnecessary decisions.
I need to know at what point do I tell my mum, actually, might be a good idea to stay in now.
Yes, we're on the.
Tell your elderly mother to stay indoors, Philip. That's what you do, son. Disconnect her from everybody and her stimulus, the very things that keep her going, and tell her to stay in fucking doors. You complete and utter moron.
Specific incidents, so that where individuals get it, and as you know, the confirmed cases at the moment are standing at 85. We're putting it out as fast as we
Where's
can.
the confirmed cases? Can you show us that, Boris? Where are these confirmed cases of the nonsense that you're professing is going on? Because I've not seen any of it yet.
And that's what we want to do. We want to communicate, over-communicate with the public about what is.
Oh,
what
here
is
we
happening.
go, extending the hand. We're over-communicating with the public about what's actually... We're so transparent. Yes, because we're a government of oppression, psychopaths, paedophiles, corrupt fuckers left, right and centre. But all of a sudden now, we're transparent and open and going to be very honest with you, all right?
Happening.
It's,
It's always worth
Bula, Boris, you complete and utter prick.
stressing with this that for the overwhelming majority of people, this is going to be who get it. This is going to be a mild to moderate.
Pay attention.
Who get it. This is going to be a mild to moderate illness. This is going to be overwhelming about what is happening.
It's,
It's always worth stressing with this that for
He's stressing this here.
the overwhelming majority of people, this is going to be who get it.
Right, so you notice he puts that in. The overwhelming majority of people, pause, who get it.
This is going to be a mild to moderate illness. And, you know, we're still at the stage.
We all get mild to moderate illnesses every single fucking year. Some people are floored by the common flu and cold, can't get out of bed for a couple of days. But now you're telling us this one here, if you get it, is going to be mild to moderate.
Where the single best thing we can do, and we'll be like that for a long time, is just wash our hands.
well, this is your. This is what you're
It's
putting.
already there. That's 3.5 weeks ago. It's going to be like for a long time. The simplest thing to do is just wash your hands. Just wash your hands, because at this point they're telling you it's on your hands that you're somehow going to transfer this wee bug, this wee alien creature thing is going to somehow jump from your hand to some other thing, live on there until somebody else comes along and touches it, then they're going to get it, and the wee alien's going to burrow into their body. You know, I'm sure many people have seen all these alien sci-fi movies that plant these idiotic images in your mind, that there's wee alien bugs jumping from one person to another.
Putting out at the moment.
Video.
It's very simple. You know, it couldn't really be more simple than
Well,
washing
that's very
hands.
simple, Philip. How have we got to this point then? Very simple. Wash your hands. Oh, right, that's fine. No, we wash every single day anyway. I mean,
And
Well, it's for 20 seconds.
yeah.
20 seconds.
add the specifics in there. That gives it more severity and more seriousness. It makes it more true. If I add a number that I've worked out somehow, 20 seconds. Can you show me the practical tests that were done here, Boris, where they've got a wee alien bug that's been shown as green, smudgy slime stuff here. This wee alien bug and how washing your hands for 20 seconds kills it. I would like to see that, thanks, Boris.
Which, as you've said,
Hot
happy birthday
water.
twice, hot water.
Hot waters and
So this is the video running through now that we're watching.
Look, if I give it in fucking print and count the seconds up to 20 seconds, that's going to NLP right into, partaking in it.
And what you don't want is for people to sort of do this for a couple of days and then get bored and kind of forget and go back to normal life, because we've all sort of done it. We've all got red raw hands and sore hands.
yeah,
and then
mine just now.
Your hands don't look red, raw and sore, Polly.
exactly. Well, I hope you did.
I'm glad, because
I did.
you did come straight in here, and I kept my hands by my side just to see what happened, and you walked in and you shook my hand very
I
hard.
did. Like, and
So
I
remember here they're passing it off as a contact thing, where if you contact somebody, it's going to jump to them. I think Boris has had a severe case of fucking crabs in his life, maybe some other fucking transmitted sexual diseases, and this is their wee narrative. It's wee crab type creatures, things that if I touch you, they're going to go into you and they're going to burrow into your fucking pubic hairs and then infect you and you'll be coronavirused up.
That's right, and I've been going around hospitals, as you can imagine, and I think you always shake hands, and people make their own decisions, but washing them is the single most
key.
effective thing, rather than sort of barring all forms.
So you'd wash your
of
hands
human.
before you shook mine.
See that? Before barring all forms of human... where are we at now, Boris, 3.5 weeks later? Can you go in your car to a scenic destination to take your dog a walk? Because if I touch a branch, somebody might come along after me and touch that branch. I mean, what are you talking about?
My hands.
Definitely.
I say everybody, wash your hands at all times.
So now you launched your battle plan. We
Yes.
crossed live to you at Downing Street and on Tuesday to listen, contain, delay, research, and mitigate. And Professor Chris Whitty, who is England's Chief Medical Officer, has said now that we are mainly in the delay phase. So we've moved from contain into delay.
Let me explain exactly. Let me explain what's happening today. So
Delay. So that means that, you're suspecting everybody's going to catch the wee alien bug. So why not just get it done with and let people go about their business like they do every other fucking year, when the flu and measles and chicken pox and colds and all that stuff's going about, son?
as people know, the numbers continue to grow. I mean, not exponentially, but they're continuing to grow.
Make big hand gesture movements, because that reaffirms it even more, so it paints a wee picture in the minds of the gullible. Those who are unaware of the NLP tactics that these cock sniffers are trained in.
The Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies, or SAGE, is meeting, and they will consider a range of options that we have to try to delay the spread. And they range from things like stopping big public gatherings, sporting gatherings, and so on, closing schools, that sort of thing.
Are we far away
Quite
from that
draconian
happening?
stuff.
Yeah.
To more targeted interventions, which would be really helping the elderly.
Italy's
to
done
protect
that. So
themselves.
how close are we to doing that?
So, we'll see what the scientists advise.
We'll see what the scientists advise. We'll shut responsibility like it was scientists, because this is always their fucking mantra. Science and scientists said so. No, who are these fucking dipshits? Boris, be specific. Give me fucking names. Give me the practical references that I can see that they actually done, so that I can verify this stuff. Don't talk shite.
the best thing I find that, you know, these guys are brilliant. They're epidemiologists.
Oh, these guys are brilliant. These guys are brilliant too. If they're that fucking brilliant, why do they not put a stop to the common cold and flu every fucking bastard year? Huh?
Who understand behavioural psychology of the population.
Here they're getting to it. They understand the behavioural psychology of the population, because this is what it's about. All this is an exercise in testing the response of the fucking bewildered, gullible masses to see where they're at in their fucking brainwashing and their willingness to jump to every fucking whim that morons like this creepy cretin offer them up through the TV screen.
They understand how these things spread. So we're going to see what they say. But just for your guidance and for everybody...
What's the psychology of people go today with a wee alien bug thing that's jumping from one person to another, snatching their body and invading them? What the fuck has that got to do with anything, Boris?
Think about. At the moment, what they're telling me is that actually, slightly counterintuitively, things like closing schools and stopping big gatherings don't work as well, perhaps, as people think.
Hang on a minute. So I'm getting a message that I've got some clown spoofing me in the fucking chat box. Right, this is their tactics continually. Cheers for that, Mick. Right, let's go back here.
Intuitively, things like closing schools and stopping big gatherings don't work as well, perhaps, as people think in stopping.
Right, it doesn't work as well, right? Because that's what happens. I mean,
the spread. That's what they're saying to me at the moment. So our advice on school.
This is them acting like it was never the plan to invoke, lockdowns and all this stuff. This is him, countering it, like saying the opposite as if that's not going to happen. We don't want that to happen when it's always been the fucking plan. Yeah, wee sack sniffer.
Closures remains pretty much where it was. I mean, exactly where it was, which is that we don't think at the moment that schools should be closing, but unless, of course,
schools should be fucking closed for fucking far other more important reasons than imaginary alien bugs that are infecting people. Right? Schools should be closed because mothers and fathers should be taking responsibility for their own fucking offspring, so that they don't fall into the hands of fucking cult lunatic psychopaths like you and your cronies to brainwash them with a lot of fucking shite. Right? That's why schools should be closed. Schools are a fucking abomination. No other species of biological life offers up their children to complete fucking strangers to be brainwashed by a lot of drivel. But you need educated. You need educated. What does educated actually mean? Do they need to hear stories about fucking 2,000 years ago and irrelevant crap that's of no use to them as a living sentient being in the moment?
There is an incidence in there are cases in the school, in which case they should obviously talk to Public Health England.
Is the delay essentially trying to spread this out so that it doesn't all happen at once and overwhelm the NHS, and that you can actually delay it into perhaps the summer when it's a little quieter and the ordinary flu might have died down a wee bit? Is that what you're doing?
Well, it's a very, very important...
Because there it is. When the order of the flu's died down a wee bit, when the weather gets better, because as I keep saying, when we go from winter to spring, or summer to autumn into winter, we get heightened, numbers of people with ailments, but that's because the atmosphere changes. It's got fuck all today with wee alien bugs zipping about the place, waiting to pounce on you. I mean, it's so fucking ridiculous right now. I went into a petrol station the other day, and they had markers on the floor, right? And the man in front of me had to go up to the counter while the woman behind the counter stood back from the counter. He put his stuff down there, went back to the line, the woman came forward, tallied it up, then the man walked forward as she walked back and paid for it. do these people really think that the wee bug is sitting at the back of their eyeball watching, going, right, you fucker, as soon as you put a toe over that marker that's just been set out there arbitrarily at fucking 6 feet away, as soon as you go, 1 inch or 1 millimetre closer, I'm ready to pounce, because I've got my range worked out, I've got my depth perception all sorted out. I've been practising on Boris and his cronies so that I know exactly how to time my jump. When you go any closer than 6 feet away to that other person, I'm going to launch and leap out and latch myself onto them and infect them. Fucking idiots!
In question, and that's where a lot of the debate has been. And one of the theories is that,
Oh, it's a debate. We're all deep in contemplations about this terrible wee alien thing.
Perhaps you could sort of take it on the chin, take it all in one go, and allow the disease, as it were, to move through the population.
Move through the population now, because as I say, it's fucking a morphing entity that's leaping on people. Aye.
Without really taking as many draconian measures. I think
the draconian measures were always going to be brought in, you complete and utter wank stain. Stop fucking talking shite. See these fucking Muppets, it's about time we had an uprising, and I'm beginning to suspect that that's exactly what they're trying to achieve, right? With all this draconian pish, don't walk your dog in scenic destinations, telling people who have had no legal documentation, no lawful documentation, telling them to shut down their business or take time away from whatever it is they're up to. Everybody's just doing that off their own back because some fucking idiot on a TV screen said so, suggested that that's what they should do. But nobody has any legal or lawful binding documentation to state otherwise. Right?
I think it's very important. We've got a fantastic NHS. We'll give them all the support that they need.
That's funny. We've got a fantastic NHS, and when this kicks off, all of a sudden, the NHS have been screaming because they've been understaffed for years. Right? And now they're coming out with the figures of 250,000 new employees. Well, if you tally that up and down the whole of the UK, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England, right? The amount of hospitals, that's just staff that are going to cover basic jobs that had to be done anyway. So they're utilising that by putting the influx in there to get all these people on side with them. But yet when you go to the hospitals, fuck all's happening. Nothing. But this is part of their tactics to galvanise people and get them on board, and other mantras of unity. Unity, and we're all in this together, we're all equal. But yet, hang on a now, you're making preferences for NHS staff and firefighters and whatever else to get discounts on foods and be served first and making them a priority. That's hardly equality, is it, Boris? We're back to this whole all animals are equal but some are more equal than others. Fucking pish, you complete and utter shit stain.
Sure that they have all the preparations, all the that they need for us to get through it. But I think it would be better if we take all the measures that we can now just to stop the peak of the disease being...
There's more hand gestures. Wait a minute, 'cause I've got this fucking idiot again in my chat box here, apparently. Let me send. It's the wee rich fucking Bullingdon boys. These wee guys, after Saturday evenings live, they called me again, so I answered it. I put them onto mute, recorded it on my OBS, and sat back and played my guitar for 40 minutes. Now see these wee rich kids that are in the chat box spoofing accounts, they begged, two of them begging for 40 minutes while I couldn't hear them while I played the guitar, begging me to speak to them, begging for my attention. And I've got it recorded. Absolute fucking tosspots. Listen, little rich kid, you've just no got it, right? Run along, son. You've had your wee arse spanked to fuckery. I've got you recorded, you and your wee buddy, acting like fucking complete and utter lunatics, begging, pleading, please, Del, will you speak to us? Del, can we speak to you? Please speak to us, Del, please, 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 please. I had you on mute, you daft cunt. Okay, I played my guitar and ignored you, and then listened back and laughed my fucking arse off. Now, toddle on, sunshine, toddle on. Let's get back to blootering Mr. Boris Fuckface Johnson for telling absolute porcupines, right? If that's who you're aspiring to be, you're on to plums, right? He's just as thick as you two are. Anyhow, aye, billa, rich boy.
As difficult for the NHS as it might be. I think there are things that we may be able to do.
You say that the NHS has your full support, but according to a report from the
The
National...
NHS has his full support. Who? What, everybody? Did they go around every single staff member? Because I'm meeting staff members left, right and centre who are just gone, this is one load of shite. Right? Everywhere I go. Banks, care workers, common workers, garage workers, everybody is ignoring ye tosspot. Right? Apart from a very small minority of people who are probably Star Trek fans and believe they live on a big wobbly space testicle. Right? That's the ones who probably buy it. We fucking don't, sunshine. So my suspicion is that you're trying to get all us good people to get irate and cause a revolt, which I think we should. I think it's time we tore down the walls and got these motherfuckers right out of the picture. Government should only be there to make sure that infrastructure is maintained. Anything else, get them to fuck.
Office. The NHS currently does not have the nursing staff it needs despite efforts to boost the workforce. There are still 43,000 vacancies. How are they going to find beds and staff to cope with what we potentially could see an increase of patients?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into it.
They were understaffed before this shite.
We, of course, have greatly increased the number of nurses in the NHS, and many more than there were in 2010, for instance. But you're right, and that's why we're recruiting 50,000 more.
That's still not fast enough.
Well, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but I mean you're right, and but we're going as fast as we possibly can. Remember we shortened the visa application process. We've restored the bursary for nurses so that the real incentive.
Stop giving fucking money to fucking institutions like NASA and fucking SpaceX and ESA and all these fucking creepy cretins who are only making cartoons on the TV screen. Right? There's a start. Go and get the fucking dosh off of the motherfuckers.
Now to get into nursing, and in the course of the next few weeks, we will really do everything to make sure that the NHS is able to cope.
Bringing back
able to cope with what? Here again, look, we've got a massive contradiction in 8 minutes, right? This is where you can see that they already had the plan laid out, because right at the beginning, it's elderly, the vulnerable, people with respiratory disease, which is the same any other time of the fucking year.
There was talk of people who were in retirement to bring them back, and we looked at that and thought, hold on a second, if you start bringing back people into the front line of medical health, they're actually the most vulnerable. They're the older people because they're retired.
Well, that's obviously something we'd have to consider, and you're absolutely...
No, but the NHS staff and the army and the police and the politicians, they're all super beings. They're all immune from the space alien fucking invisible body snatcher thing, right? Because they can all coerce together, rub shoulders, walk down the street, have meetings in groups and congregate as groups, right? Because it's their wee cliquey fucking groups versus us, the masses, where the rules are different. Some animals are more equal than others.
Absolutely right, that in principle, over 65s are more vulnerable to...
How did you work that out, fucko?
So how was that ever going to work?
Well, I mean, couple of points. I'm not sure how many over 65s we're actually going to be recruiting. But secondly, don't forget that even if you get this illness, for the overwhelming majority of people,
Again, here he's going to state it again. Pay attention.
even in the elderly groups, it won't be. It will be mild to.
Even in the elderly groups, it will be mild to moderate. Right. So what the fuck's all the big hullabaloo about then? Fuck all. Well, that's right. It's got fuck all today with saving people from the alien body snatcher known as coronavirus.
Moderate. But the crucial thing is that we'll be getting the NHS ready, but also, really
He's just jumped for that, and then the crucial thing is forget what I've just said, because don't pay attention to that because it's detrimental, right, to my story. The crucial thing is that we're going to give people more jobs in the NHS. While at the same time we rope all these NHS workers into being part of our cliquey little fucking group, although we will fucking drop them like a hot potato when it fucking suits us. But what's happening is you've got all these arse lickers who are running to it, oh, I'm part of the NHS, I'm a superhero. I'm battling the alien invisible body snatcher thing.
trying to help people to prepare themselves, prepare their
Prepare for what? Mild to moderate fucking sniffles. I don't need to prepare for that. It's a bit of a pain in the arse for a couple of days, Boris, but I can go about my business as usual. So can everybody else.
families to do everything to take pressure off the NHS.
Have you prepared your dad?
I'm sure he's prepared. He's generally in a state of readiness for anything.
And I don't say that.
He's
like-
laughing because his dad does not give a fucking monkey's fuck about any of this gibberish. And neither does Boris.
Because you represent, many of us who have older parents.
Yeah.
And so, sort of what.
Well, we're all worried. I mean, I'm thinking about my absolutely.
What are you worried for? This is what I'm saying. People don't pay attention. That's twice now. He stated and he emphasised it again about 30 seconds ago. Even the elderly will get mild to moderate symptoms. And now all of a sudden we're jumping back to the wee agenda narrative here.
Both my parents, we all have to think about. But what the Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies will be thinking about today.
Oh, here we go. We're shirking responsibility again. It's another entity, another godlike entity who's feeding him the lines. So therefore, it's science. If I throw in the word science and scientifical, then people are more likely to believe it. Because we've brainwashed them into thinking we're masters of the universe, that we've figured out the universe, how it began, where it's going, and all that stuff. Yet not one of these motherfucking dipshits can produce a seed for me from nothing. Nothing. Can't even produce a speck of dust for me from nothing. But they fucking know how the universe all came to be, how it works and all the ins and outs and blah 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 blah. Right? And hang on to now, we're not operating from a Darwinian evolution storyline here, right? So is this no about natural selection doing its thing? And what's happening here is we've got people trying to interfere with that. I mean, who the fuck do these people think they are? Huh? Who are you to interfere with the Darwinian evolution? Poppycock? Boris?
Today is particularly about what we can do to help those elderly and vulnerable groups. It's not just.
Oh, I know how we can help them, Boris. What we'll do is we'll isolate them. We'll tell their family members to abandon them, keep them locked up in the house, to have no exercise, no stimulus, no fresh air, no human contact. Fuck all. Because we want rid of them.
There are also people with pre-existing conditions or other vulnerabilities that we have to consider.
People are stockpiling. They are going to the shops. They're buying extra loo roll. They're finding it very difficult to get hand sanitizer.
That's another thing. The terminology's here. Lockdown. All this removing freedoms and rights. It's all prison speak. And the toilet roll is a valuable commodity within the prison system. So we're getting prison talk here because that's what's really going on. Right? They're creating a prison for your mind and now they want to exert it physically. And what they're looking for is gauging the reaction to see how susceptible the vast majority are. They're wee fucking tests. They're wee social engineering tests. Well, get it right up, yous lads. Because what I'm seeing is people going, fuck this, which is fucking great.
Sanitizer now, and I watched the item on the news last night saying that hand sanitizer companies have upped their game massively, pumping in what they would normally do in a week in a day. But what do you say
Of
to
course they are, because they're reaping the rewards. That's fucking morons telling you to wash your hands 45 billion times a day for 20 seconds. So they're going, oh, you fucking beauty. Shares and stocks and sanitising fucking products has went through the fucking roof. I'm sure he's got a few buddies. I'm sure he's probably got fucking shares. Him and his wee fucking cliquey cronies have got shares in quite a lot of these places, just like the other pharmaceutical industry. Right? And everybody's all running about fucking offering them more power, more wealth.
people who are stockpiling? Can you guarantee that in the absolute crux of this, you can feed us?
Yes.
Boris doesn't feed any cunt. It's the common man and woman that supply the materials and the foods to everybody else. Boris does fuck all, but sit with his wee thumb right up his fucking fat baggy ass.
I'm sure. I mean, I've just been talking to the Chancellor and the Governor of the bank. I mean, no doubt that the UK economy is very robust. We will make sure that we.
Oh, it's very robust. I know worries, Boris. You fucking fruitcake. No any more, son. No any more. And that's another aspect of your wee fucking idiotic agenda, isn't it, sonny boy?
Give businesses and the economy the support that it needs, and
talks about the economy as if, you know, money, as if cash is what makes everything work. Everybody overlooks the fact that without human endeavour, human input, blood, sweat, tears, right, fuck all gets done. Money does nothing.
You know, businesses run into trouble because, you know, a supplier is
He's nearly slipped up there. Businesses run into trouble because he knows that the agenda is to tell them to shut down, right? But again, no binding documentation, nothing agreed on paper, no contracts have been had, but people are willfully shutting down their businesses.
is out of business, or they're facing difficulties of any kind in cash flow or whatever, then we have a system called Time to Pay that will help businesses get through this.
Aye, we're going to shaft you. We're going to insinuate that you shut your business down, put you in more debt, add more interest on you, so that we can bind you even more so to our slavery system.
Chat for the budget next week. We'll be doing some things to help business and to help the economy generally.
Other topics. I mean, people thought you put yourself into self-isolation because you know, there are many people watching this show now who are out of their houses.
Well, that wee act comes later, where he goes into self-isolation because he claims he's got the sniffles. And again, that's just to try and galvanise people to think, oh, look at him, he's one of us, we're all in this together. The in it together mantra, the unity mantra, right? Same old fucking bollocks.
Houses are completely flooded, and you weren't anywhere to be seen.
Well,
where were you?
I'm obviously working round the clock on all types of things, as indeed is the government.
That's very general. I want specifics. What is your actual work, son, apart from showing up at some fucking building and hooing in hand to other people across the chamber from you? What is it specifically that you really got up to, Boris? Because I think you just walk about sipping fucking coffees and whatever else while your buddies touch wee boys and wee girls' bums, right? Doing fuck all. Leeching off the sweat and tears of real fucking people. Right? I'm sick to the back teeth of this fucking idiotic system that people pander to. Hierarchy, governance. Government should not be involved in subjectivity whatsoever. Government should only be there to fucking maintain the roads, make sure the fucking fuel supplies are coming in, and that's about fucking it.
And on the flooding, what we've been...
Cunts like this should be on fucking minimum bastard wage. It should be a privilege where they do it for fuck all. If they were really genuine, good-hearted peoples. Because that's what us genuine good-hearted peoples do. You know? We help each other with no agenda to get anything in return. Just because it makes our lives easier and there's a willingness to help each other. We don't need fucktards like him trying to dictate to any of us. Snap out of it, people, for fuck's sake.
Doing is making sure that homeowners get the support that they need. So up to £5,000 to help.
Homeowners get the supports that they need. The support that people need is from a very young age. They have to be given the tools to always further their independence. Okay? The vital tools, we start from how their mind works, how to decipher information, what the actual tools of survival are, what to do in any given situation, so that they can fend for themselves, so that they never become dependent upon anybody. Therefore, they would eradicate any risk of a corrupt system taking hold and breeding dependency to the point of utter useless stupidity, which we are witnessing to this very day. So, fuck you again, Boris, you sanctimonious, pompous little prick.
Can you see why they felt neglected?
Why didn't you go?
I can, we have a wonderful...
Can you, there's Holly with a wee emotional appeal because she likes to be a wee helpless victim. Can't you see why they're so concerned? I know why, Holly, because they're dependent, idiotic fucktards. And this system has bred them to be dependent, so that psychopaths, predators like him can leech off it.
System called cabinet government, and we're working round the clock to...
Do you look back at something like that and think,
protect
I
those-
should have gone?
protect those victims. Also,
But do you? Do you look back and think,
I'm very proud of the work that the emergency services do.
No,
of
you
the-
know.
of the work
But do you
that
wish you'd
cabinet
gone?
He
ministers-
doesn't give a fuck about any of these people. Come on. I'm proud. No, you're not proud of fuck all, son. You're a narcissistic prick. All you give a fuck about is your self-gratification every fucking moment.
I think you should have gone?
I think it's very important, actually, when a flood is going on. Well, let me give you a direct answer. They said to us, and what happens when you go to a flood is you arrive, and everybody has to down tools because there's the Gold Command, the ambulance, the fire, everybody, the environment agents, they all meet for an hour or more to brief you when they could be getting on with the emergency. What we will be doing is making sure that communities get the support that they
So you
need.
were advised not to go because
They said to
You'd get-
us, all you'll do is distract us and disrupt the business of helping people with their immediate crisis. So what I was doing,
Well, that's right. Because people sort it out themselves. They don't need you. Big daddy figures. Right? They don't fucking need you. As I said, again, the only fucking job that dipshits like this should be partaking in is making sure the infrastructure is there and solid.
was directing operations, making sure that people get the Belbin scheme money, that they get the £5,000 to which they're entitled,
Yeah.
that they get the business rate support, that they get all the cash they need, plus that we get the flood defences we're going to need in the future. We're putting £4 billion into more flood defences, and I want to see that money well spent.
How about you just fucking utilise the weather modification equipment that's there and patented, Boris, and stop acting like it doesn't fucking exist? Okay, son? So that you could avert any of these floods, right? Because you could disperse cloud the same way as you can create the clouds and rainfall, you complete and utter wank. So stop saying you're going to treat the symptoms just like every other aspect and get right to the fucking root of it. Right? Because the capabilities are there to do so, but you choose not to, because you don't give a fuck.
spent, and I want to see, I
And
want to see
also looking
fewer homes in
a good green policy, so that hopefully the money, sort of is lessened in the future anyway.
I wanted to talk to you yesterday. You defended Home Secretary Priti Patel over her bullying claims. I wanted to know how much sort of underlying sexism is at play here, because sort of a woman boss is seen as a bully if she's slightly challenging, whilst a sort of male boss is seen as robust.
Look, I don't know whether
Right, fuck you. That's enough of that now. Camera's still not working. Whoopsie. Oh, there's your world. There's your world, peoples. There it is. The spinning testicle. A cartoon absurdity where you think you live, where morons like Boris Johnson rule the roost. The reason they get away with it is because you think you're flying through the infinite void of nothingness on a wee delicate absurdity with no way off, nowhere to go. It's all been discovered, and from this wee vantage point here, they know how the whole universe came to be and how it works. Everything's discovered, therefore sit still. Take in copious amounts of stupidity in the guise of information that bewilders you even further, disconnects you, makes you fucking confused, depressed, anxious, in fear. So that morons like him and his pals can run about having a good time, telling you that there's wee aliens going to invade your body and they're going to protect you by telling you to stay in the house. There it is, the foundation of your delusional life. Fucking wonderful. We'll leave that up there. We'll leave the spinning absurdity, shall we? I used to believe I lived on that cartoon as well. What a fucking moron. What a complete and utter dipshit. So, I say, people have sent me in footage of, common people investigating, going about these hospitals and these supposed testing centres, and there's fuck all happening. Absolutely nothing. Right? Again, this is an exercise in their fucking social engineering. Right? Just testing for whatever else is coming, because there's more to come here. Again, I'm sure people have noticed a real lack in police presence on the streets, on the roads. I was out on Saturday, and I was at a spot in Glasgow. I was on 70 miles an hour in a 50 zone. The only police car that I seen was an unmarked Peugeot, which drew up alongside of me, and I could tell they were trying to get my attention, but I ignored them for about 15 seconds, and then I turned round. The guy in the passenger side held his hand up to me, saying it's a 50, and I just gave him a thumb, and they carried on with their journey. Now, any other time they would be trying to stop you for being 20 miles an hour over the limit and giving you a fucking fine and all that rubbish. Not that they ever get it out of me, but that was the only one that I seen. You're also hearing all this talk of the police operating with military planners. So where are these fuckers right now? Because they're getting prepped and ready for something. There's been huge investments in water cannons and other crowd dispersing equipment and training people to deal with these types of things. So what they bringing? Is there something else in the pipeline, or is this shit that's going on right now enough to antagonise people into civil unrest so that they can try and stamp on it and assert their authority and really bring in some draconian measures, right? Because I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you, because I'm pissed off of them. We need an uprising right now. We have to get rid of this shit. People need to stop pandering to this weak-minded crap of handing over their authority, their discernment, right? The basics of their very being, handing it over to these spoiled, spoon-fed, rich little motherfuckers who do not give a fuck about you, your offspring, or any of your family. And again, I encourage you to make sure that you keep contact with your elderly family. You keep them stimulated. Get them outside into the fresh air. We've just been back from a family walk up the Braes and there was fucking loads of people. None of them had masks on. They do not give a fuck, which is great. They seem to be only focusing in the city centres. And it's all this pish. In fact, wait a wee minute, because Dill Who's Asking sent me that footage. This was the staging of... Yeah, let me find it. No, that's not the one. Alright, this is a drone footage, so let me just share this with you. These vehicles should not be here. Why? Why? It's not an unlawful thing to be driving your car and going a walk in the countryside. Unless, of course, that's been changed somehow. How can you ever take away inalienable rights? How can you ever take any of that away? You cannot. You can only try and suggest it. And this is their other method now. Now we're getting right into 1984, where you've got people, common people, trying to snitch on each other. Oh, that's the second time he's been out today. I'm going to phone authority and tell on him because I'm a wee arse licker. I'm a teacher's pet and I want a gold star. It only happens when you consent, when you abide to it. Again, they're only saying it on the TV and people are behaving to the way they say. No, everybody, which is fucking great. Wonderful. Go on, you rebels. Get it right up them. This is drones. Not essential. It is. If I'd say it is essential, a walk or going out on my motorbike or going up the Braes for a walk with my family and my dog is essential. Because it's part of my inalienable rights as a fucking sentient biological being that no man will ever fucking get in the way of. Ever. So, fuck you. If I see your fucking drone, I shall do everything in my power to knock it out the fucking sky. If you come trying to put your hands on me, I will fucking fight you tooth and fucking nail, cunt. Yes.
I'll make you a tea.
Well, thank you very much. You're a special wee unit.
I am the half. Oh, make you a 2 metre distance.
Aye. Going for a walk miles from home. Let's see that. What did that say there? Going for a walk miles from home, not essential. Now, what the fuck is this? Look at this. This is a one person. Fuck all. For hundreds of metres around them. We started off, wash your hands. And now, you've not to go a walk where no fucker is. How's that? How's that? Is the wee alien in there again? Is it waiting to pounce? Is it? Well, do you know what? This is a footpath. I know. It's a tactile, invisible alien. What it's saying to itself is I know. What I'll do is I'll turn myself into the colour of that bush. And when that guy walks past it, I'll jump onto the bush. Right? And I'll multiply a wee bit so that when other people walk by, we can all gang jump them. Right? We'll jump on them and infect them just because a man decided to go for a walk in the wilderness. Fucking brilliant. Going out of your way for an Instagram snap, not essential. No, look at these terrorists here. These people are terrorists. They're a threat to the rocks and the grass and the trees. A major threat. Absolute fucking despicable human beings. That is essential. Where do they get the right to say it's not essential? Because in my life, it is fucking essential. Very essential. And it's very essential for the elderly folks out there to do the exact same fucking thing. And if any police officer or person of authority comes to try and bother you, tell them to mind their own fucking business and fuck all the way off. Is it? Are they hanging about out there? Are they? Get it up, yous. Where is it? Well, there must have been an alien body snatching bug spotted somewhere around about the airport. Somebody must have seen the wee alien bug. It must be hiding under a plane or something, waiting to pounce on people. The government advice is clear. Remember, you've got to look at their wording. Advice, requests. Wait a minute, we started off from washing hands and now you can't travel. Well, everybody get in your car, and if anybody says anything, say, well, it's essential. It's essential that I go for a drive because everybody else is just making up rubbish. So I'm just going to make my own reasons up. It's essential to me to go in my car and do whatever the fuck I like, just because. Because you know what? I'm a sentient being just the same as you, dipshits in government. And I make decisions. Have I robbed you? Have I murdered you? Have I assaulted you? No. Well, mind your own fucking business, thank you very much. And don't tell me it's for my good, because I will make fucking decisions on what's good for my health. I notice that you're no banning alcohol and cigarettes and all these other things. And by the way, you can still put the lottery on. You can still go into the shop and pick the pen up that everybody else has touched and put your lottery numbers on, because apparently that's essential. Keeping the lottery machines going is essential. We are all in this together. No, we're no. Tell all the rich cunts in government and in power to empty their bank accounts then and start giving it to all the fucking poor and hungry people out there if we're on it together. You lying pieces of shit. Apparently, no going for a walk in the countryside is going to save everybody's life. How they came to that fucking conclusion? They're smart peoples, they're scientists who figured out the universe, remember, so we better trust them. Let's see what else we've got here. Where was the other one? Where is it? It's not there. Can I find it? Can he finds it? So are we all clear then? There's absolutely no contradictions. It all makes perfect sense. Your government loves you, and you should do everything that some fucking dweeb with a fucking crooked haircut on the television tells you to do, because you're a poor victim. There's a bad alien invisible body snatcher out there, and your government are going to protect and help you. What a wonderful time to be alive. Do you not feel united? I mean, that's fucking great, isn't it? It's, what are we saying in the chat box? Hello there, peoples. How are we? What are we all saying to you? Aye. Well, anybody's welcome. I might go live again later. We'll see. Now that we've all got time in our hands, we might as well communicate properly and talk about what's actually going on and get these motherfuckers to fuck. Because as I say, it's hugely important. We've got an opportunity here, people, to break out of this, to actually liberate your own children and free them for these oppressive shackles that we call society and governance. right, and start understanding what's actually required. As I said before, your subjectivity and my subjectivity is absolutely irrelevant if we're going to live as a commune, if we're going to live in societies, right? All that we care about is the necessities, what makes our lives easier. How do we get to each other easier? Let's focus on problem solving like that and eradicate anybody who tries to impose any wee agendas that deals with subjectivity. Okay? They start telling you that you've got overlords that are looking out for you in your best interests and your health and all that. We're talking shite. Right? These people aren't God. They don't know how the universe is and how it came to be and all that stuffs. They're just liars. Right? Opportunists who are perpetuating this system because they get the benefit out of it. Stallion 1882 wants to come on. Let me see here. Aye, fuck it. We'll open up. We'll have a laugh. I'll post this in the chat box. You can join. Aye. Get one of the all-in-one fucking condom suits just in case the wee fucking body snatcher gets into one of your orifices or into a pore or something. I mean, I don't know how they imagine it happens. I'll get ready with the button in case one of these wee rich dipshits tries to play something that gets us fucking a copyright. Hang on. Let's be having ya. As I said before, you know, what I'm going to start doing is because they're deleting comments and stuff from comment sections, so I'm going to start paying attention to the comment sections. I'm just going to start deleting their comments if they don't answer my questions. Because again, people need to understand that the globe concept is a claim that's being put to you. It's contrary to your direct experience of everyday reality. It's an absurd, grandiose claim, right, that requires extreme proofs in order to convince me to abandon my experience of reality and adopt a belief in a fucking concept cartoon, right? So remember that. You're the master, they are the beggar. They're begging you to believe their cult teachings. So it's up to them to convince you of their cult lunacy. And never forget that stance. You owe them nothing. You've got nothing to defend. They are the ones offering the product. Hello.
Yo.
How's it going? You hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I didn't know I had to put the phone in my ear.
No worries.
What's going on, man?
A lot of nonsense. a lot of fucking nonsense is what's going on.
A whole lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Where are you?
We chatted before. I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Nice one. How is it there?
It's pretty fucking crazy, man. I've been driving in the streets pretty much every day. I don't go out after 11, but I drove through Disney. I drove through like Winter Park, Winter Garden, busy areas, and it's just a ghost town.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on, nothing.
Yeah. That's because the wee alien creatures running about the place.
Yeah, dude. I've been spending a lot more time with my family though, getting like back in nature and
Good.
tending to the garden and stuff like that. And the animals, taking care of the animals.
Good. That's what we're supposed to be up to. That's what we should be doing.
Yeah. it kind of makes the seriousness of the situation clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a fucking sticky situation right now, man.
That's it. But at the end of the day, we are the majority, and at the end of the day, you know,
Yeah.
people can help each other. They don't need any external authorities and fucking committees and bureaucrats to fucking make decisions for them. So
Exactly.
if anything, that should be clear to people as they spend more time with their family and their animals, because that's the real stuff in life.
Okay, then.
That's where the satisfaction comes for me anyway, and obviously you're stating it. And if other people gave it a bash, they would realise how good it actually is. So hopefully that works to your benefit, this situation.
Feels like it is.
But what we need to be cautious of is a violent uprising, because I certainly don't encourage that, because that's exactly what they're after.
Let me put you on speaker, man. Hold on.
Hi Dale, you have actually mugged yourself off amazingly. I'm going to do what you love to do so much and hang up. Goodbye.
This wee rich boy that fucking begged me for my attention for 40 minutes the other night. You hear me?
Can I not put this on speaker or what?
I don't know, you should be able to, mate. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. All right, got it.
I know you can't see me, but my camera's
Nah,
not
Sorry.
working for some reason. I need to get a new webcam, I think.
that's cool, dude. Still spraying.
What's that?
Still spraying every day.
You still getting it there? What kind of cam?
Yeah, they stopped for like 2 or 3 days, totally clear blue sky, and then they're back at it again. And then some days, you know, like you can't even look up at the sun. It'll be a blue sky, but you can't even like look up. It's so blinding, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopeful that we'll get some weather here, but I'm always sceptical in that, you know.
Get some weather.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good spell this year, because we've had nothing for fucking over a year now. So
That's nuts. This
Yeah.
is always blankets in the sky there.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's usually just a continuous blanket, you know.
It's pretty nice here.
I know. I speak to Bill. Bill's in Florida, and he's often telling me.
Oh yeah. He's from Orlando, right?
Well, he loves to tell me how beautiful it is there and how sunny it is. He loves winding me up, you know.
You should come visit.
Aye. Yeah. So we getting in to discuss.
I got a lot of shit on my mind, man.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
I've recently got back into like psilocybin, man.
Cool.
Like using smaller doses of psilocybin to like change my life completely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You get some.
Have you ever tried? I mean,
What's that? Oh,
depression. Most people don't even know it, but
sorry.
actually,
You broke
Can
up.
you hear me?
You broke up.
Yeah.
You broke up there.
40 minutes of begging for attention. Fucking brilliant.
That's right, son. That's what I said to you at the end of your fucking 40 minutes begging and pleading for my attention. So keep playing it, because I've got the full recording. You complete and utter retard.
the fuck is he doing?
I think we should upload it. Oh wait, we already did.
Good.
We're a fucking idiot.
Good. I'm an idiot. I never said a word and played my guitar for 40 minutes while you and your buddy begged and begged for me to speak to you.
Did we?
Of
Did
course.
we? I think you should watch the upload. I think you should watch the upload. I think you should watch the upload.
Right. Okay. I think
Listen to this guy.
I think I'll just play the full fucking 40 minutes you're completing it, or reprobate. What's your upload? Me playing the guitar and you and your pal begging for 40 minutes?
No, actually, it's not that at all.
What is it then?
I think you should watch it and find out.
No thanks. I know what
Exactly.
happened. I've got the
Fucking
recording.
pussy.
I've got the recording. Hang on till we get it up. Wait a wee minute. Let's see here. File. Show recordings. We hear this. This is fucking brilliant. What date was that? Wait till it comes up. What date we on the now?
What day is it? Anyone know? Fucking.
That'd have been the 28th, wouldn't it? Aye, that's it here. Wait, hear this.
Am I clear? You see me? Hear me clear?
I can hear you, aye, no worries.
Cool.
Right, hang on a now.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be
Right,
them.
Yeah.
Wait here.
Oh my god, Del, you're here. Hi.
How's it going, Dale?
I wanted to have an informative discussion with you.
Hello?
Hi.
Is my mic working?
Yeah.
That's really good because I can hear you too, and that's what we need.
Cool. That is cool and good. Del, we can't hear you, love. You need to make your mic work and that. You know what I mean? You need to make it operational.
Wait, you're using OBS screen overlay? That's pretty sick.
That's you're so.
I like
That's so
that.
cool.
Inverted email.
Oh, never mind.
Oh my god, it's the
Yo,
Earth!
he's got a
Oh
CGI. That's
Goodness
CGI.
gracious!
It's not real. It's CGI.
That's a picture. Is
That's
that?
it. You're just showing us the globe now, is that it?
That's a.
Yes. That's the globe.
Listen to these degenerate fucks. Just keep listening to them. They're fucking mongs. Honestly, fucking look, 38 minutes of me saying fuck all but playing my guitar and them begging.
That's the point that this makes.
They gotta be paid, bro.
They're fucking idiots. Absolutely.
You better believe it, bro.
We'll save that. We'll save that for another time.
Yeah.
Aye, so you were saying about psilocybin.
Yeah. Just getting back to it. I used to do it a lot when I was younger. Friends. Now, like, seeing the medicinal benefits to it and how it's changing my life and my family's life around me is just really eye-opening.
Yeah.
I struggle with like really bad depression and really like severe anxiety, where I just shut off in like social environments and stuff, but it's totally taken all that shit away.
Yeah. That was the same for me. That was my experience. I was really anxious, really depressed. And I really get involved with the mushrooms, the psilocybin, around about the age of 19, 18, 19, 20. I had a really profound experience when I was about 21.
Nice.
And it was like an internal realisation of baggage and stuff that I had, and it happened in a kind of picture form. It wasn't like a narrative. It was more like a clarification and an identification of the issues and the situations and some of the traumas. And after that, things just started to alleviate. Although I still had 10 years of depression after that. But I had a strand. I had things to work with that I could unravel and understand. You know, so
It's almost like you're rewiring your brain.
yeah.
That's what it seems like with me.
Yeah, and I think that's where its benefits are, and if it's used for that kind of purpose, I think it's great. But I also had my moments of just using it as a recreational, distraction, which produced it produced different results, and the LSD for me was something that was it never really had any effect other than learning to no try and control everything. You know. So. Aye.
You got a good way with articulation, man. Every time you talk, it's like I don't know, like I understand deeply.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's something that I always try and work on. It's how can you communicate simply, so that you can relate to other people. That's always. But I think because language is always a barrier with people, and if you can find a method of connecting with people, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, dude. People just need to stop being controlled by their emotions, I think.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest problems. It's emotional impulse and reactions to things and fears and anxieties and projections that people spew out before having a reasoned thought process. But
look at this shit.
Looks excellent. That looks excellent. That's
right.
Quite similar to some of the settings that Bill shows me.
Yeah, my house is on the other side of the lake. I just walked over here.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Aye. So what age are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah.
So you'll still be feeling that intensity then, because I remember at that age, the intensity was still peaking for me. At that age, it didn't really start to subside until I was about 35.
What's that subsiding?
The intensity of life and my thoughts and my emotions and
Yeah. Dude, I was on a pretty high dose. Like I went to my boy's house. He gifted me some, and when I went home, it was like 2.5 grams.
Yeah.
When I went home, I'm sitting in the living room with my mom, and it really starts to set in, and I could just feel like total empathy. Like I could feel the stress pouring out of my mom for like what's going on.
Yeah.
And it brought us closer together, and brought me understanding with her life, and she trusts me now. Never.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So say for those purposes, I think it's a great thing, and people really should, partake in it for the right reason,
Yeah.
But that's it for me. It helps with the internal aspect, the subjective, but it only goes so far. It can't take you all this talk of other dimensions and meeting other entities and stuff. That's where I kind of draw the line.
Sorry, say that again. Distracted over here.
No worries.
Sorry,
I'm just saying that's as far as it goes for me with like the psilocybin. It's good for internal revelations and clarity internally, but in regards to the bigger picture, it's never going to offer anybody that. It's all this talk of meeting entities and other beings and all that. It's never anything really profound. I don't get any really profound information from anybody in regards to that type of stuff, So.
Yeah, that's the last thing we talked about when we talked was like the DMT thing and being around like entities like that.
Aye.
I don't know, like what you get from that is just I don't know.
I think
it's hard to put into words.
I think it's just more confusion. Some people get a bias confirmation because they think they've experienced something objective, and I'm always like, well, did these beings actually offer you anything profound in regards to your life, your situation, what it's about, any of these things? You never get that. So that makes me suspicious about what's actually going on.
Yeah. It's all internal.
Yeah, I mean, people take these things and they get an experience that's so far removed from their everyday experience, and that profound experience they then translate into being something meaningful and something true. And I'm always like, well, how did you establish that? How did you come to that conclusion? Just because it was so far removed from your experience doesn't mean it doesn't give it any leniency to being something truthful or meaningful, because it's always, you know, oh, it was like psychedelic, and the beings showed me this and they showed me that, and I'm like, well, they never show you the entirety of your existence and what you're a part of here, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever had a breakthrough? Yeah.
No, I've tried the DMT and it never worked. I had two.
Oh, really?
I had two. I think it was at 50 milligram doses, and nothing happened. So
I got it off the Silk Road.
was that?
You know what the Silk Road is?
No, what's that?
Like the dark web.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So we got and dimethyltryptamine off there, 80 milligrams, and I don't know. It was pretty powerful, intense shit.
Aye.
Like I broke down. I was crying, saying thank you over and over again. Just saying wow over and over again. Not even knowing if my eyes were open or closed. Not even trying to breathe. Something was like breathing through me. But I don't know. It is what it is. McKenna is really good at articulating what's going on in there in that realm. But I just like what I saw them doing was like free expression, total imagination overload. And if I got one thing from them, it would be like just do what we're doing, express freely, dance, spread love. Like it's really simple shit.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we should be doing, you know.
Like why is the fucking park closed?
It's the same here. They've got red and white tape all over.
I'm fucking barefoot, just walking around like what's going on?
You get more chance of being fucking eaten by an alligator than fucking catching some wee alien body snatcher.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. You got any questions?
No, just chat away, mate. You know.
Cool.
See what's happening.
I got a buddy in the chat, Philip. He's from Orlando too.
Nice one.
Yeah. I try to put these things up every time we start them.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. But I'll be watching though. You want to like let other people in or whatever.
No worries, buddy.
All right.
Cool.
Talk to you later.
Take it easy, my man. Are they wee rich boys still dancing about trying to claim some sort of victory? 40 minutes of begging for my attention. I said nothing. Played the guitar, had them on mute. They begged and begged and begged. Remained on a call with no response for 40 minutes. What does that say about them? Rich kids, there's no clawing your way out of the spankings, right? I know that your wee ego is taking a bashing. There's no way for you to claw your way out of the hole that you have dug for yourself. You were warned. You're no smart enough. You don't have what it takes. You came, you get your arse spanked, and now you're crying about it. Rather than learn. Just learn from your weak-minded idiocy. Right? Because trying to claim a victory after being knocked out in the first round is just the men of fucking absolute fucking needy. What? What? He's no shouting at me. Being knocked out in the first round and then running about trying to claim some sort of victory is just severely desperate. Right? And it's no making you look very good. No, they can't self-reflect and have responsibility. They're morons. If you listen to the full 40 minutes, you want to hear these wee guys. Honestly, they don't have a fucking clue about anything. You know? Dangerous wee guys. Don't leave your children anywhere fucking near them. Don't leave anything unattended near these wee guys because they'll probably destroy it. Right? They're utter stupidity. Hello, Mega Noob. Upload the entire thing. I've got it recorded, you fruitcake. This is what they're saying. They're trying to act as if they achieved something. They begged for my attention for 40 minutes, and I said nothing but played the guitar while they were muted. So, I keep uploading it, lads. It's fucking brilliant. I know, there's something wrong with my camera. These wee Logitech webcams, this is about the 4th one I went through, where all of a sudden it just decides it's not going to show any picture. So I don't know what's going on with it. You didn't beg, did you? Well, you're on a call that you're not getting a response, and I'm ignoring you because you're on mute. And you stayed on the call for 40 minutes, and when I listened back, all I kept hearing was, let's have a talk, can you speak to us, yada yada. Self-defence mode. Oh, they only play a few seconds of the clip. They're wanting more, people. They want more. Let's see here. Let's share. Share screen. Let's see. Here we are.
Don't know what that means.
No, I'm not entirely sure what that means.
What you need, actually, I've got one right here. I can send it to you if you want. I made my own spinning flat Earth GIF. It's really good.
Oh yeah, he's like a.
Well, it's got a fat intermission right in the middle of it. So. You can publish my assets if you want for £5,000.
CGI, you can CGI it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, what does that say?
I don't know.
Re-inverted, unfortunately.
Digital footage. Is that a stock video now? Gosh. Oh no, it's restarted. We're good. Started again.
Do you have any other gifts we can see?
Yeah, I'm quite interested. I found
Do you want to talk on screen?
I'm not going to play the full 40 minutes, I'll skip through it. It's just the same shite over and over and over again.
Yeah, there's a wasting streak.
You can hear me pulling the skins out and rolling my doobie and then playing the guitar and just having them on mute. Well, they can hear everything I'm up to. We're talking to nobody.
All these sound effects, you should do like ASMR, do you know what I mean? Beyond the Imaginary Curve ASMR. I think that'd be quite good. It's like
a fantastic idea.
A niche in the market, you know what I mean? Flat Earth ASMR.
They just sound like a couple of wannabees, and they're right up their own hoop. They really fancy themselves as something. They don't realise that a man in a shed and the housing scheme is ripping the shots right after them. Well, they talk to nobody, absolutely nobody, and they stay on for 38 fucking minutes. 40 minutes, in fact.
No, you should give it a go.
Get some prevalence.
Look, lads, this is how you troll properly. This is how you troll people properly, right?
By doing that.
Yeah, get some clout in that. Jake Paul.
You know, like waste gum. You know, you'll be back.
Listen, they're like mental patients. It's just gibberish that's coming at them, and the two of them are enabling each other to partake in their mental illness. There's something seriously wrong with these boys. Seriously, this is what happens when you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth and you don't experience actual reality other than delusions and fantasy, right? Well, their parents abandon them because they're away out drinking fine wines and shagging each other and mad orgies and probably all sorts of other stuff. Well, they're left at home with nothing but a TV screen and computer games. This is what you end up with. Delinquents like these two creepy weirdos.
Yeah. ASMR darling and that.
Oh, it's this again.
Yeah.
Does it glitch?
Yeah.
I see. It's the same GIF.
Yeah, but you seen it.
This is how sad and lonely they are. There's nobody even speaking to them. All I did was put up a spinning globe while they were on mute, and they're fucking fighting over themselves because, I don't know, they really need my attention for some reason. I think it's because they feel the strength and they've never had any of that in their life. So it maybe threatens them a wee bit, but they're intrigued because they know deep down that hole may be filled. But I don't want to be their daddy figure. I'm not interested in wiping the bums of wee rich posh boys. Right? I've not got the time for it. Right? You could learn if you just paid attention rather than snapping at my ankles, begging me for attention. That just irritates me. Right? And you don't learn anything. You're never going to move on.
New content, Del. This is why your content is dry. We need new content. You know what I mean? Change it up a bit. Give us new gifts. Give us.
You can hear me with the grind on the background. I'm totally oblivious to what they're fucking saying because I couldn't care less.
Better experiences. I can't experience the flat Earth if it's not being presented to me. Also, why are you saying it's a globe Earth? I thought a globular Earth was not real.
I mean, clearly this isn't real because it's CGI.
How does it work? It shouldn't work.
Yeah, they actually said it.
That's my mind. Yeah. Contribute to this conversation about the globular Earth. I don't really like leaning back in your chair or something.
Do you have functioning vocal cords?
You know what? I think in history he's CGI. I don't think he's real.
Jacqua, you're listening to two rich boys who called me. I answered the call, put them on mute, sat back and played my guitar and let them ramble and beg for my attention for 40 minutes. Now they're running about professing that they achieved something. So what I'm showing here is that they're absolute spastics and that they're totally bewildered, dysfunctional and delusional. I'm just going to skip it shortly. Don't worry, Jacqua, it's not going to last very long. I'm just proving the point here.
Del, you see
I've seen pictures of Del, right? Yo, he's like, excuse me, Jimi Hendrix, is that you?
See what I mean? Right? Don't care what they're saying. So let's just skip right to the end.
That's really good.
They never kicked us out yet. I'm like really amazed.
I'm actually humbled.
Yeah, same.
What was I playing?
Just a blender render.
I don't know.
I mean...
Now they're worn down. They've lost the will to live. Their soul has been destroyed because they realise that they've been on for 40 minutes and had no response whatsoever. They'll get a response right at the end. It's brilliant.
The guy could be hired by Video Brinquedo.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Huh?
40 minutes of begging for my attention. Fucking brilliant.
You actually spoke.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, hear the joy in their voice. Listen again, right? Minutes of begging for my attention. Fucking brilliant.
You actually spoke.
Jesus Christ.
Del.
I just wanted to talk though.
Yeah, we just want to communicate and that, you know what I mean?
Right, you wee fannies. So, there you have it. Spanked rotten. Would anybody else like to join me? I've got nowhere to go. No rush. Join me if you like. I'm going to make another smoke and read from the chat box for a wee while. Labia flaps. Labia flaps are nice and tasty and quite useful. I wouldn't call them that. Eddie. You need to think of something far more useless than that. I don't know what it is with these people. They keep coming at me. It's been there 5 years now and they just keep coming. I swear to God, I think they're just masochists. They love destroying themselves. They love a good spanking. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Del.
Hi.
I'd say that you just showed us really educational. I found it quite interesting.
Did you? Are you here to try and claw back some semblance of fucking whatever.
No, because I don't really need to. Mainly because at the start, you actually played a bit where we said that we wanted a discussion, and you did say to us that if we wanted to discuss something outside of stream, you would be more than happy to discuss. And it appears that when we tried to do that, all you did was sit there silent. And,
See,
pretend that we weren't even there.
this is the rich kid in you, right? This is where you have this delusional, grandiose idea that you're entitled to something when I don't owe you anything, wee sacks, right?
I know that, but you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to." If you want a discussion outside of stream, then I'd be more than happy to call you.
You're not listening because you're irrelevant to me, and I do not give a fuck about you or what you've got to say. So again, take your grandiose self-entitlement and I ram it right up your wee posh arse, son. Right? Now fuck off. You've been spanked, silly. You're just making even merrier fucking cunt of yourself. Bye. Run away. Anybody else can click that link. It's still open. That's scientists for the club.
I'll just kick me out of the call and pretend that it's all going to go away.
How can I kick you to call, you moron? How can I kick you to call, you fud? You've just done
it.
I would have to shut the hangout down. I've not got any control over who comes in, who I can kick out and who I can't. Don't be retarded.
Well, I mean, you've done it somehow because I just left the call and I was like, oh well.
You left the call because your wee arse is fucking tweeting like a budgie and you don't know how to deal with it, right?
I don't see why I need to leave the call for that. I think I'd do that in call, you know.
You're a globe scientist.
Yeah, I am qualified scientist.
You're a qualified fucking reprobate, sunshine.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, can we continue this?
Really funny.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, we've got two of them now.
I was going through your comments.
We've got a gruesome twosome.
I saw that on your own video you thought that a viewer had deleted your comments.
Mm-hmm. And?
That's not possible.
What the fuck are you two wee fannies all about? Nobody's laughing. They're just laughing at you. You're a pair of wallopers.
Well, that wasn't meant to be a funny
do
statement.
you know something?
To be true.
Do you know something? Show me how brave you are and show us your face.
Well, there's no need to do that. Yeah, you already has.
Have you found me that one proofsy of a globular earth yet?
Yeah, we did it ages ago. You just hung us up each time.
Give me one.
We've really done it. We've come on your stream like 40 fucking times.
Give me one. Well, everybody's waiting. Here's your opportunity. One measure.
No, but that's the point. The point is, you always say, "Oh, give me one," but when we ask you, you always deflect the question back to us. So you don't have to say anything.
Let's establish something here. You want me to believe your cult lunacy, right? I don't need to defend. I've got nothing to defend.
It's common sense.
You're asserting to me.
It's called going to school, getting an education, and being a normal fucking person. And
you're a normal person. You're a normal person. Begging a man on a phone. Begging a man on a phone who's ignoring you for 40 minutes.
Else who goes to school gets
begging.
I'd love to see the bit.
Begging a man.
The bit where we actually beg to get your attention, because as far as I saw in that video, we didn't actually beg once. We just asked if you wanted to contribute to the conversation, but you didn't.
The entire video was us asking, being like, "Oh yeah, can we have a conversation with you?" And then you not responding at all, and then 40 minutes of us watching your fucking shit photos that were meant to imply something.
Oh yeah, you didn't show the bit where you just put random photos on the screen. Where's that?
Exactly.
That's begging. Right, so
is it begging?
Any normal
is commenting on normal shit photos.
Listen, any normal sane person after no getting a response for the first 30 seconds would have hung up. You
do you know what begging is?
You normal schoolboys hung on for 40 minutes.
No, you were the one giving us photos to respond to.
Right, he's a boring
that means you were begging.
Have you got that one proof for the Globe yet? Hurry up.
I mean, the fact that you recorded it says no.
Bye. I can only tolerate stupidity for so long. So there was your statement. They consider themselves to be normal, right? That shows you how absurd this system is. They consider themselves to be normal, sane, rational people with the ability to discern their reality and then articulate it to other people, while they sit on a phone call begging for a man's attention who's ignoring them for 40 fucking minutes. That's globe cult normalcy. That tells you the level, right? These are intelligent, highfalutin individuals who come from sophisticated, rich families with a proper education, and they're fucking cretins. And again, to highlight it to people, the stance is that you were born as a sentient being. Other human beings told you where you are, what the world is, all that stuff. You're under no obligation, and there's absolutely no burden on you at all whatsoever. They will constantly try and deflect and shift the burden onto you, when all you're asking for is for them to justify the assertions, the absurd assertions that you live on this cartoonery right here, right? Because that's contrary to your experience. I've never thought that I've lived on a cartoon. That doesn't even remotely resemble my reality. So anyhow, let's focus on real decent people. What's the chat box saying to it? Now, there's a difference between rich people who worked for the riches bossack, right? There's a huge difference than we fucking privileged, snotty-nosed, spoilt rodents who have never fucking done anything in their life apart from leech off everybody else and sit about playing Xbox and PlayStation games. That's what I'm talking about, right? So, get it right, bossack. Good on you, you're 19 and you've made your wealth. No, you didn't. You got it off mommy and daddy, you wee sack sniffer. You wouldn't survive in the real world. You've just not got what it takes, son. This is them, this is how edgy they think they are. Their name is a wee dash. Oh, edgy as fuck. Brilliant. Anyway, let's ignore these wee creeps. Been spanked fucking rotten. In fact, I'm bored of my play toys now. My play toys must go in the bin. Bye bye. Fuck, beyond belief, they're right up there with fucking Timmy and fucking what's his face, fucking Schmeagle. You know, they're right up there with that lot. Exactly, Steve HV. You'll never get anything relevant to say on that Cheryl, Natalie. Never. Never. Again, they're here and their opportunity. All they can do is act like delinquents. They've no got anything. The reason is because the globe is just a mathematical concept. It's not a real thing. Aye, well spotted, Chris F.E. Jackson. What do you mean was a comment? Bossack, don't focus on that, but in fact, Bossack, you can fuck off, you wee twat. Don't be using Scottish lingo like that, because you're no Scottish, you fucking reprobate clown. See ye? It's not a fucking argument, right? These wee dweebs are harassing people with their fucking delusional derp, right? And they're just being spanked rotten. Now away you go and lick their wee wounds for them, Bossack. Watch you don't catch the coronavirus after them. Or crabs or something. Not that they would ever get their hole, because they're incapable. And even if they did get a woman in bed, they'd just probably cry. They wouldn't know how to satisfy a woman. Right? They'd spunk their wee load and then burst into tears. Well, the rich women go out and fucking shag the gardener, because the gardener's got a bit of grit and realness about him. Right? That's why their mammy and their daddy are taking the schlong from the common man, because the common man knows how to shag them. Don't worry about catching the crabs off them. You might catch some stupid. That'll be about it. Exactly, uppercut. No, the captain, they'll never speak to me face to face. They're just wee faceless, weak gimps. As I say, I'm here all the time. Everybody knows where I live. I go to the universities, I'm out in the street. I'm actively encouraging them to come and speak to me face to face. And in 5 years, I've had zilch. Nothing. Nada. And who is it that's trolling who again? That's right. I don't even think they know who their daddy is. FPV Angel, it could be a number of people's. You know? A number. Flat enough, they're not trolling me. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I've been trolling these motherfuckers for over 5 years now. No, that's the problem beyond belief. How can you prove a concept? It's just a mathematical concept. It's abstract. That's what maths is. Abstract. It's got no relation to actual reality. You could be the captain. Even money on that. Jed was alright. Jed was alright. Very mannered. But then he went and ruined it. We got on a hangout and fucking talking shite. You know, I don't like that. I don't like the wee gobshites that talk shite behind your back but can't speak to you like that face to face. So I told him that in an email. No, exactly, FPV Angel, the ample opportunity. Exactly, Steve HV. Mass psychogenic illness. That's what's happening to these boys. That's what's happening to the Globe and the Globe proponents. Well spotted. That's exactly what the Globe is. Mass psychogenic illness that is rife amongst us and must be eradicated. We should be having a lockdown to eradicate Globe believers. Eradicate the beliefs from their mind. Right? Snap them out of this fucking disruptive, you know, decaying delusion that they have. Because they're causing problems for everybody. So we really should be isolating them. Fuck coronavirus. Let's start a campaign. Are you suffering from a Globe delusion? You must be in isolation for at least 6 months. If after 6 months you still maintain the delusion, we're going to force feed you toilet roll until you die. That would be a much better quest, I think. Dan, it's my webcam, the Logitech. These wee Logitech webcams seem to have the same issue. After so long, they just decided they're not going to show video. I've had this before, this as I say about the 4th one. So I don't know where I'm going to get a new webcam. Any suggestions, any ideas? Have you got one, Dan? Or do you know where anywhere that's open that I could pick one up? I don't know if maybe Asda, but that'll be classed as non-essential, I think, so I might not get in that aisle. I've seen that China's pretty much back to normal. It's because there was never anything in the first place. So I say, you're not seeing what's happening in other countries. Is it Sweden or Switzerland? I can't remember. Apparently there's nothing going on there. They're just going about their business as fucking normal. But the problem is that people are only getting the source of information through their mainstream media. So they've got this illusion that it's all happening everywhere, when it's not happening everywhere. It's just that people are that fucking stupid here in this country that allow these motherfuckers to get away with the shit that they fucking get away with. It's not the drivers, it's these webcams. I know, I'm hypnotising you back into believing the cartoon sphere, Maria. There it is. That's your world. Russian vids now, people was right, I'm a secret agent, and now I'm reversing my programming and I'm subliminally brainwashing you back into believing that the world's a globe. Right, there it's there. So if you're a smart truth seeker, if you're woked, you would no pay attention to it and just listen. Yeah, exactly, John. What's happening in Russia? Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's not ask those questions. Yeah, exactly, a level awakening. Look, you seen the number they done on that poor boy, fucking Jamie Brown. Doesn't know his arse from his fucking ear hole. You know, runs about spouting the rhetoric from fucking globagandists, you know, and thinks he's woked and fucking on the edge. They've even got fucking bots in praising him for his idiotic channel and his fucking nonsense that he spews, and he's all happy about it. But I still hear him anytime I've checked moaning and groaning that he's not got enough viewers, because that's all the boy's interested in. People like him are fucking morons, you know. How do you know the water's flat? How do you know the water's level if you measured it? Oh, it's Jimmy Brown, duh. It's a shame, really. I mean, I tried to, you know, be there for that boy. I was the only one that watched him when he first appeared, the one viewer. And then I watched the fucking trolls go in and fucking break him down, gaslight him, confuse him, and to the point that he was just spewing their rhetoric. Yeah? Because I think he thought that that was a better opportunity for him to get likes, shares and subscribes. But it is a shame. I think the boy's got some autism or something. And, you know, his mother and that don't give a fuck about him. They're just letting these fucking morons online bewilder and confuse him and break him down. You know? It's a fucking shambles. But, hey ho. Each to their own and all that. That's it, Rickus Vaticus. I see that in him, but he's allowed that to happen. He's willfully participating in it because all he cares about is likes, shares and subscribes. You know? He keeps missing the point, going on about flat earth. The globe has nothing. That's where the problem is. That's it, Neil Williams. It's not just Masons, it's all these fucking cliquey groups. As I said it before, everybody, these people that are delusional enough to think all these governments are operating independently and all that, they're all in the same wee fucking club. It's a big club and you're not in it. Aye, Eugene Hugo Boss. I know social distance myself from those who practice social distancing. Children building an extension, aye, they're at the back door digging it up. Well, that's it, just another fool, as I say. I wish the boy nae harm, but he's caused a lot of fucking issues and, you know, been an absolute moron by allowing these people to get away, you know, and now they've ditched him. Now they've just ditched him. We are one, so we are in it. but the lack of knowledge is what makes them seem to have power over us. The power is that people give them their attention. The power is that people don't realise that they've been delusional their whole life, that they've bought into the aspects of where they think they are, who they think they are, being told what life is and being told what's expected of them and blah blah, and they're so enamoured by that, they're in the habit that they think it's really their life, you know, and that's the problem. It's like any other product. If you continually partake in it, if you keep lending your attention to it, then you know you're allowing it to be there, you know, as a product. All they have to do is snap out of it and shift their attention and it'll go away. The performer is only going to stand on stage performing as long as there's an audience. But the protest has to be non-confrontational at this point, because that's exactly what they're looking for. What we need is a fucking silent movement of removing consent. And I says this corona thing's an opportunity for people just to en masse to go about their business and no give a fuck what they're saying on the TV screen. And if everybody done that, they don't have enough personnel to try and whatever force you back in your house at gunpoint. I mean, Stuart JB, I'm trying to brainwash you back into believing in a globe. It's because my camera's not working. And I thought I would leave the spinning testicle up there for us to laugh at it. It's better than a blank screen, is it no? No, I don't know about that uppercut. Because I think there's a lot of people, you know, are starting to get disgruntled and starting to see the obvious nonsense that's going on. As I say, they started out, wash your hands. Even the elderly are only going to get mild to moderate symptoms. Now 3.5 weeks later, we're in this situation of you're not allowed to go to a scenic route and walk your dog. I mean, people are just going, what the fuck is going on here? And it seems to me that maybe that's what they're trying to achieve. But as I say, people have to be careful. If that is what they're trying to achieve, then they're trying to agitate people, get people in an angry state so that they'll partake in violent protest. You know, but that's only going to lead to mob mentalities and mobs turning on each other. That's not going to eradicate the problem. You know, the problem is understanding the language, understanding the structure, the system, and what these people are supposed to represent, and being able to articulate it and stand up to it using the language. Right? That way you can defeat them. To say, always utilise that. Worst case scenario, if people coming at you with violence, then you employ violence. You know, you don't turn the other cheek with that, but that'll be up to them to cross that line if that's what they want to go for. Oh, right, there's my dinner. I'm being shouted for dinner. Right, people, as I say, I may be back on this evening, I may not, I may pop up whenever, just because I can right now, because there's nothing else happening. So, as I say, stop believing the bullshit. I'll see you very, very soon. Take care.